at Bandelier National Monument in New Mexico. I had never heard of this place, but it's been a national monument since 1916, so somehow I just hadn't heard of it. But it's in the Frijolitos Canyon. It preserves many different ancestral Pueblo sites, home sites, buildings, that kind of thing, as well as just the landscape. It's not a huge national monument. We're camping at their Juniper campground, which is a very nice campground. No hookup, so we're having to be a little conservative in our use of power. But it's a very beautiful, beautiful area. We're going to do some hikes. There's a lot of backcountry backpacking opportunities here, which we're not going to do this time around, but we're kind of filing away for other times. And we're thinking that we have not allowed enough time in New Mexico to see what we might be able to see here. We're going to do their, I forget what the loop is called. It's a fairly short loop, and it takes you past several ancestral Pueblo dwellings, and also takes us to a house where we climb 140 feet up ladders to get up to the house. So we're going to do that first of all. It's a fairly easy trail. To a certain extent, it's even accessible for wheelchairs and things, so it's going to be pretty flat and pretty easy to do, but should be very scenic. This canyon we're in is called the Frijolitos Canyon, or Little Beans, and I guess this is the canyon wall.
Got a lot of little holes in it.
Yeah, it looks like the Swiss cheese canyon, actually. We're approaching the remains of a village down here on the flatlands, or in the valley of the canyon. But you can also see that they built houses, dwellings, up against the walls of the canyon right there.
And they had a lot of dwellings that actually connected to dwellings that they built into those holes. So we're not really seeing that, but they were actually built into the side of the wall, and the rooms would then go on into those caves. They called them cavettes. Cavettes.
Cavettes.
Cavettes. This is so cool. So we're inside a cave 8. There it goes. You can see the little dugouts there to put things. And it goes on that way. Again, the black tells me that cooking happened. Yeah. There's another niche to put things. Another niche up in there.
Thank you. I got lots. Thank you.
And what a view they had, huh?
Thank you.
See the circle of the village from this perspective.
This is a Kiva Cave 8. They won't let us go into it because visitors have vandalized it, and Hopefully eventually they'll open it up again, but stupid people who go in and can't resist carving their names in the walls or whatever they do. It's very annoying. Petroglyphs in the wall. There's one. There's some that look like faces. Like there's one right there.
So you see this opening, and first I noticed, okay, it's black. It looks like they've cooked in there because there was a house here, a couple-story house. And then I noticed that they actually made a chimney for their cook area. You can see the black where the smoke came out, and they used their clay and stone and made a little chimney in a natural opening area, although they might have kind of picked it up too. So next to this stove with the chimney that I've been so excited about, you can also see all the round holes. And there are lots of holes in this rock that, you know, wind and rain make, but those round ones are definitely man-made, and they would hold the beams for the building that would be right in front of that little cave that was their stove.
You can see this whole row of horizontal holes that held beams called bigas for the roof of the building that they built in front of this cliff. Very ingenious use of the cliff, the soft rock of the cliff.
They call this area Longhouse because all along this cliff wall you see rows and rows of those man-made round holes that would hold the wood beams, and then below it you do see remnants of the dwellings, the houses. And so there were houses, just like an apartment complex, all along this wall, way down there. So they call this the Longhouse. But it was many houses, like an apartment complex.
This is the path to the alcove house, which is where we'll climb up ladders 140 feet up. Which sounds daunting, but take it one rung at a time. It doesn't look like there's anybody controlling traffic up there, so it's just be polite and patient and wait for people to go up or down the ladder. Okay, our turn. Up the ladders.
Turn. Yeah, do you see how it's all grooved out underneath?
Yeah.
Makes me think that it had been used this route.
Yeah, probably.
Whoa. Little narrow. One foot in front of the other.
Yep.
Except they had no handles. No rail.
And no steps.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, they could have put ladders. There's no reason they couldn't
I would imagine they did use
couldn't have made ladders.
They use ladders into their dwellings.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really cool. So fun. And we're still not quite there, I don't think. Yeah, we got more to go. That's where the family lived. Where the lookouts for the village. Whoa. Got it bolted in there. We are now in the alcove house. So people lived up here with that view and with that climb and a bit of a walk to the village. So there's a black spot, so they probably cooked under there.
So once you get up here, you've got a fairly level spot. It's not a completely enclosed cave. We can see the post holes there in the wall. So they obviously built out over this. Not in here though. So it looks like they're at the entrance to the cave. They built a roof or a second floor, but not over here. Now over here we have a kiva.
These handles that they put here are very helpful.
Yeah.
It helps on the turn. It's a little harder with just the pole. There we go.
Whoops.
Don't slip. Don't slip.
I stepped on that rock.
Ready? Are you headed up?
That's a really good picture.
So this is one of the reasons the native Puebloan people settled in this canyon was this perennial creek. Constant source of water. Here's one of these Albert's squirrels or whatever. They got big long ears and very bushy tails. I guess they're native to this area. I'd never seen one before. And they're big. That's a bigger squirrel than some of the gray squirrels that I've seen. That's a good sized snake.
It's almost like he was playing dead as we walked past.
Oh wow, that's a good sized snake.
Yeah, what is he, 4 feet long?
Yeah,
We need to look that up. See what he is.
Those markings have got to be. And I bet you if we get the picture of that marking,
We're on the Sankawi loop. This is part of Bandelier National Monument, but it's kind of a separate unit. This is a 1.5 mile loop trail, lollipop. And we're a little short of time, so we have to move along. But some folks we met in the campground said, you absolutely have to come and do this. So
We were planning on it, we just didn't realize that they closed the gate at 5.
yeah, I thought they'd be open kind of the same hours as the rest of Bandelier, but they closed the gate at 5, and it's 4:20 or so now, so we have to move along. We're having to walk along this trail that's been cut into this rock. This rock is called tough, and contrary to the name, it's not that tough. It's a soft rock made of compacted volcanic ash. That's how they were able to carve out homes in the cliff. They would use harder rocks like basalt and carve out this tuff and carve rooms into it. So that's what we're walking through. And supposedly these grooves that we're walking in have been carved out by centuries of people walking over this tough rock. This is a little bit of a dicey spot. We're here, going down this little bluff, and then there's a ladder at the end of it, so not a lot of room to maneuver. We've got opposing traffic, so we have to back ourselves up. You make it, Linda?
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure. I did my backing up there.
Okay, go on.
I don't know what to give her.
This is what this looks like up here. It's a very steep and skinny trough with these slopey steps and kind of a high step. I'm not going to try to do it without having my hand free, but that's what it looks like, and then we come to the ladder. Kind of a high step.
Because it's a little technical through there. You can't just walk.
With both hands to ease myself down. This is how Linda got up there, through the hand and toe and footholds.
And I think I'm going to try to go down that way.
Okay, be careful.
I don't know. Maybe it will go down that way again. Probably go down on my bottom. Or if I could turn around. Don't video this.
It's part of the program.
I really need to turn around and go this way. Here's some old hand and toe up the side of that cliff.
We've come upon a panel of petroglyphs here. The spiral pattern up in the upper left there seems to be very common in the Southwest. We've seen that in Utah and other places. And then there are people figures. Arrows. Hard to tell what some of them are. There were more on this other rock face. That one on the right looks like it could be a tree or maybe a corn stalk. Then there's it looks like another human figure with
Yeah, it really seems like that's their village.
not really a face though.
Because this is what their villages look like, you know, the squares and rectangles
Yeah.
all put into one big rectangle.
It's like a map of their
And
town.
then what is this? It's like that's the head, that's a shell or top of the body, a tail comes out here,
Wonder if it's a
and then you see the three spikes up at the top. Almost looks like a stegosaurus.
This is really narrow here. This passage barely fit my hips through.
I don't know how some people would do this.
Yeah. Should have been maybe a weight warning at the beginning of the trail. Some people have stepped over here, it looks like. And I can't say I blame them.
I think here's another way some people climb.
Yeah.
But back there I didn't see where they go. It was pretty narrow through there. Did they straddle it or what?
I straddled it.
Did you straddle it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Like walking with snowshoes on.
Oh, that's funny.
These aren't real high cliffs, but they're high enough that you'd get hurt if you stepped off of them. 10, 12 feet.